We are grateful for all the work Simon Searchlight is doing to shine a light on OCNDS and to accelerate the path to treatment. To the Simon Searchlight team, we thank you for your hard work and dedication to our community and for organizing this virtual conference. Hi, I'm Jennifer Sills, and I'm the founder and president of the CSNK2A1 Foundation. I have 2 children, Jules and Jasper, 2 dogs and a cat. Our daughter Jules has OCNDS. We searched for 7 years to find answers to the symptoms that plagued her ability to live a normal life. In 2016, when we received her diagnosis, we had no place to turn for help. There was no foundation, there was no website, and there was no information. The only information available was the paper written by Dr. Chung and Dr. Oker describing this brand new syndrome. I tried to read the paper and I had to look up every other word. And at that time, I knew we had to create something for individuals to easily understand their diagnosis and to empower them to be strong advocates. Our hope is that this foundation provides a base from which OCNDS families can stand strong, feel supported, and be informed. Early on, Dr. Chung told us the cold, hard facts. Patient families shouldered the burden of building an army to drive rare disease research. In 2016, she told me that no one was studying OCNDS and no one would be studying it unless we started a foundation and funded research ourselves. After speaking with academics and researchers, it became abundantly clear that there is a real possibility we can find a treatment or a cure for OCNDS. We are living in a time where genetic conditions thought to be incurable or untreatable are now being treated. Our second hope for the foundation is to drive OCNDS research that leads to an actionable treatment or cure. Now, in 2020, OCNDS families are not only taking a seat at the table, we are driving OCNDS research. To date, we have committed over $400,000 to research. This has sparked interest in the scientific community, and recently, other institutions have made grants to researchers to study OCNDS independent of our foundation grants. This is fantastic news. There is no treatment for OCNDS yet. The gene CSNK2A1 creates a protein called CK2. CK2 has been studied for years in connection with cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, autism, ALS, and inflammatory diseases. This gene is incredibly important in development, and currently a core group of scientists who have been working on the CSNK2A1 gene since before it was associated with OCNDS are conducting functional studies for selected CSNK2A1 variants. CSNK2A1 gene is like a switch for many other proteins, including genes associated with neuronal function. Our researchers are looking at OCNDS from many different angles: structural biology, biochemistry, cellular biology, neuronal function, behavior in mouse models, and embryonic development in animal models like zebrafish and xenopus, which are frogs. However, there is a need for larger scale studies. We want to extend our studies to include all CSNK2A1 variants. As variants occur in different protein domains, they may require different therapeutic approaches. Our research goals are simple: to advance the understanding of the disease mechanisms and to develop therapeutic treatments. The research we have funded seeks to understand how the disease arises, how it affects cell development, determine if this is reversible, and identify potential therapeutics, including any FDA-approved small molecules that could alleviate or treat OCNDS symptoms. We believe that the key to successful rare disease research that leads to actionable therapeutic is collaboration, data sharing, and diverse thinking. We have 3 programs in place that support this model: our annual scientific conference, our quarterly scientific roundtables, and our CSNK2A1 research program at TGen under the watch of Dr. Vinod Narayan that we established in 2020. 2019. We are committed to working with institutions and researchers that will share biospecimens, cell lines, animal models, and de-identified data. We want to thank our researchers who are already successfully collaborating, and we are committed to providing support and structure for continued collaboration. Part of our research success has been building our research toolbox that we are continuously adding to. Our animal models mimic the mutations in our patient population, and our LCLs and iPSC cells are made directly from donated OCNDS patient blood cells. You have the ability to add to this toolbox. Those who attended our conference in 2018 gave blood, and Simon's Searchlight turned them into cells, which researchers are now studying. Not everyone has the same mutation, so it's important to make sure that your loved one is included in research. It isn't mandatory to give blood, but if you want researchers to consider your loved one's mutation when determining whether a therapeutic is successful or not, I would encourage you to participate in the blood donation program through Simon's Searchlight. Our mission is to find a treatment or a cure for OCNDS. This will be achieved by our OCNDS community working together as one. We have a 3-board structure that supports our ability to accelerate the path to treatment. It consists of our board of directors, our scientific advisory board, and our parent advisory board. As you can see, we have extensive and lofty objectives for the next 3 years, which we will only achieve by working together. I'm not going to go through this list today, but you can find this list on our website if you are curious to see what we are working on at the foundation. This is our board of directors. Our board of directors is passionate about improving the lives of our OCNDS community. They are highly accomplished and respected leaders within their fields. They're expert in law, accounting, policy, finance, communications, community outreach, management, and science. Their combined perspectives and experience allowed for more informed decision-making, which is how we accomplished our initial 3-year goals ahead of schedule. Due to their collective experience in strategic fundraising, we have also raised over $1 million to date. Our scientific advisory board is anchored by Dr. Wendy Chung, Dr. Volkan Oker, and Kyle Redderer from GeneDx. They are committed to helping us build a more robust, diverse global scientific advisory board. Dr. Chung has extensive experience helping other organizations steward patient-led research networks. Our parent advisory board is composed of 10 passionate parents from around the globe, representing the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, Canada, and Austria. Our parent advisory board advises our board of directors, brainstorms ideas, and shares insights from the parent perspective related to OCNDS. Their commitment, it's a lot. They are working really hard. It's 6 hours of leadership training with an outside consultant, a 2-year commitment on the parent advisory board, 2 hours per month of virtual phone calls, and 5 hours a month minimum on parent advisory board projects. Receiving an OCNDS diagnosis, as you all know, can be incredibly overwhelming. Our parent advisory board understands how difficult it can be to navigate this diagnosis. And to help families on this journey, our parent advisory board developed an OCNDS CSNK2A1 Foundation brochure. I'd like to introduce you to Terri Jordan, a parent advisory board member, who will talk about their newest project. Thank you, Terri.
Thank you, Jennifer. My name is Terri Jordan, and I'd like you to meet my husband, Jeff, my sons, Logan and Cody. Cody is my son that was diagnosed at age 14 with the OCNDS. He is currently 19. He loves cooking, riding horses, and bagging groceries at the local grocery store. Before the time of diagnosis, we had zero information available about what was happening with him. And what we did was we focused on the symptoms, tackling the symptoms one symptom at a time to make the best of our situation. I'm a member of the Parent Advisory Board, and one of our first projects was to create an informational booklet for families to have as a resource to help them on their journey. First of all, we had an inaugural needs assessment, and we asked families to provide answers to our questions so we could get information about what was happening in our community. First of all, a shout out to the 66 families who did complete the survey, and we are so thrilled with the responses. The needs assessment revealed that the survey was completed by caretakers and parents of individuals with OCNDS. In future assessments, we would love participation from adults that are living with OCNDS. What we do want to let you know is OCNDS families span the globe. It is a community that is worldwide. 9 languages were represented in our 66 families that filled out the assessment. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your participation. The Parent Advisory Board knows how overwhelming receiving diagnosis can be, and we designed the booklet to help you on your journey. OCNDS is ultra rare. We encourage you to print, email this booklet, and share it with your friends, families, doctors, and teachers so they may understand OCNDS. We surveyed the community and we asked them to describe the people with OCNDS. People with OCNDS are happy, loving, funny, resilient, and more. Take a moment to read the word cloud in detail. We have provided a list of the most common symptoms of OCNDS. From the needs assessment survey, families listed therapies they found most helpful, and the list of specialists that they also found most helpful. We encourage you to participate in the Simon's Searchlight research to help develop a standard of care. Your participation will connect you with others who share the diagnosis and contribute to the advancements that will also help future families. In our needs assessment survey, we surveyed the community and we asked them to describe the activities people with OCNDS enjoy. When you download the booklet, please read all these activities that are listed. We created a list of steps to take at any point in your journey, so you will be informed, connected, and make an impact today. You are watching our conference today. Thank you. We encourage you to watch the informational and awareness videos. We have monthly family Zoom meetings, and the Parent Advisory Boards looks forward to seeing you and your family. Recapping what we have covered, our goal is in creating this booklet is anyone diagnosed with OCNDS can be informed, connected, and make an impact today in their journey. This booklet is on our website. We encourage you to print and email this booklet and share it with your friends, family, doctors, and teachers to understand OCNDS. This is a living document, so information will be updated. If anyone has suggestions on how to improve this booklet, we are open to hearing them. We are working on translations to other languages and we'll post them on the website when they are completed. Thank you for your time. Now back to you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Terri. Again, this brochure can be shared with your family, friends, teachers, providers, and clinicians to learn more about OCNDS. Please share our new brochure far and wide. Thank you again to our Parent Advisory Board for creating this helpful tool for our community. It will be available in multiple languages soon. I want to quickly walk you through some of our resources that are available to you on our website. We have a lot of new families, and it can be difficult to know where to begin. Dr. Chung and Dr. Oker developed a one-page document that can be printed, which answers some of the most common questions about OCNDS and details some specific interventions that should be considered for someone living with OCNDS. It is available in 9 languages. We have a blog called Our Voice. We encourage families to write about their OCNDS journey. Knowing you aren't alone on this journey can make all the difference in the world. And we have families from around the world in many different languages that have written about their experience. So we encourage you to go to the website and read them today. We have a contact registry. We ask that every OCNDS family sign up for the contact registry and register your loved one with the foundation. We are the only organization keeping track of OCNDS patients worldwide. If we don't know you exist, we cannot inform you about research opportunities, conference updates, and information regarding discoveries that can impact OCNDS care decisions. For example, Dr. Oker is conducting a study on CSNK2A1 deletions. We were able to reach out to those registered with our foundation to notify them of this opportunity. For those that didn't register and we don't know about you, then we weren't able to notify you. So by the way, if you weren't notified and you have a deletion, please let us know. In addition, to protect the privacy and safety of our closed OCNDS Facebook page, we also require you to register before you're granted membership. Please sign up today if you haven't already. There's a worldwide OCNDS cases map. As you can see, OCNDS spans the globe. We gather this data from our contact registry. If you aren't represented on the map, it means you haven't registered. We also keep track of all the publications related to OCNDS. To date, there have been 15 publications related to OCNDS. They are available for review on our website. This year, we created a program called Research Explained, in which researchers are asked to explain their research in plain language we can all understand. We want to thank those researchers who are engaged in that program. Thank you so much. Most, if not all, doctors have never heard of OCNDS and don't really have a great idea as to how to provide care for those living with OCNDS. We can change this. OCNDS families can make a difference today by signing up for Simon's Searchlight Natural History Study. Simon's Searchlight is a long-term natural history study that gathers information about you and your family and genetic information from lab reports. They also collect medical history information over the phone and information on behavior, communication, motor skills, and more through surveys assigned on your dashboard. Currently, families that speak English, French, and Spanish can participate in this study. However, they are rolling out new languages every quarter. Currently on your dashboard is a sleep study for OCNDS children between the ages of 2 and 18. Sleep is a huge issue for most families in our community. Go to your dashboard today. If you haven't signed up for Searchlight, do so today so you can be part of ongoing research. Every quarter, Simon Searchlight publishes a registry report filled with statistics about the OCNDS community that has registered with Simon Searchlight. It provides information regarding types of seizures, most common issues, average ages of milestones, for example, toileting, walking, talking. And as more families participate, we will have the opportunity to establish a standard of care, which currently there is not one when someone is diagnosed with OCNDS. Care varies wildly throughout the world from patient to patient. In addition, we will have an understanding of what OCNDS looks like at the age 10, 20, 30, 40, so we will know how to provide care for these patients. Our website also highlights the OCNDS community and puts a face to the syndrome. When families go to the website for the first time, oftentimes they see their own child in another OCNDS child. There's great comfort in knowing that you are not alone and there are finally other children like yours. This isn't only important for families, but this is also important for donors and researchers. Donors, most of them also have never met an individual with OCNDS. And so it's important for them to know who they're supporting. And we also want them to fall in love with them like we have. And researchers, most researchers have never met a person with OCNDS, and they're stuck in the lab looking at a cell that has a mutation in CSNK2A1 causing OCNDS. But we want them to know that this cell represents this person and this community, and that this is a real person with family and friends that have hopes and dreams, and that the researcher has a chance to make a meaningful impact in their lives. On Mondays, on our social media channel, we highlight an individual living with OCNDS and celebrate a milestone that they have achieved. I heard someone once describe them as inch stones. Because as you know, those living with OCNDS have many daily challenges, and some challenges are basic as swallowing, toileting, dressing themselves, putting on a seatbelt, and making friends. And individuals with OCNDS have to work harder than the average person to reach the smallest of milestones. And we want to share and celebrate these milestones. Please consider sharing your child's milestone with our community. Another way in which we put a face to the syndrome is through our hashtag Rare Disease Truth campaign. The Janssen Foundation created this campaign and we loved it. It is raw, powerful, and brave. And I think most of us try to be positive and hopeful, but we all know that rare life isn't all unicorns and rainbows. Rare life can be extremely hard, isolating, and heartrending. It can also be financially, emotionally, and mentally debilitating. Every Thursday, we will share a hashtag Rare Disease Truth from our community, highlighting their experience to further put a face on our syndrome. Everyone learns in a different way, so we've created videos. We have videos on our website, such as our quarterly educational webinars, awareness videos, research updates, and conference presentations. I encourage you to watch them and share them with your family, friends, and providers. We also have an events page to keep your calendar up to date on everything OCNDS. Visit the events page so you can save the date for all our upcoming events. As you can see, we have many upcoming events. We have many more resources available on our website, but we wanted to highlight the quick hits of our website so you could be informed, up to date, and armed with information. You can find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We encourage you all to follow us and ask your friends and family to follow us. We also have 2 closed Facebook groups, one for caregivers and one for friends, families, and providers. Remember, for the caregiver group, you must register your loved one with the contact registry. We have both fundraising and awareness campaigns. The campaigns range from large to small. New this year are our social media campaigns, some of which we covered earlier. We believe with awareness comes acceptance, and we ask that you share our campaigns weekly across social media platforms to bring awareness to OCNDS. For the fundraisers, this isn't new, but we are a charity listed on Amazon Smile. If you shop at Amazon, you can choose us as your charity of choice today. And a new fundraiser we added this year is our virtual fun run. And by the way, you don't need to run in order to participate, as we called it the roll, walk, or run. We are currently looking for committee members to help make this inaugural event a success, and we'll have more information soon. We want to thank everyone who's created a Facebook fundraiser. We love these fundraisers because 100% of the proceeds raised go to our foundation. Facebook covers the normal transactional fees associated with credit card donations. So these Facebook fundraisers are a huge win for our organization. So thank you very much to those who donated your birthday to the foundation. This year, we formed more and more partnerships with other rare disease organizations, and we will continue to do so. Today, joining us could potentially be some of the members from the CSNK2B rare disease group, and we are looking forward to working with them and all of the other partners that we have joined forces with in sharing ideas that will only help us achieve our mission faster and more efficiently. Sometimes you hear in the rare disease world, not without us. Historically, patients and their families have been left out of discussions related to research and outcomes. We want the patient voice to be at the center of our organizational decisions. We plan to accomplish this through parent and patient education and connection. Quarterly, we host educational webinars. We distribute a quarterly newsletter to keep everyone up to date on everything OCNDS. And monthly, we have OCNDS family Zoom calls so family can connect and share information. And in the last few years, what we've realized is language can be a huge barrier to participation. Everything is in English, and if you don't speak or read English, this can be a barrier to participation. We want to make sure our global community is heard and can participate. And this year, we recently partnered with an AI company to provide real-time translations so our global community can participate in webinars and community calls. This year, we are also working on programs that increase our cultural competence. The need to increase our cultural competence was made abundantly clear during our trip to the UK, obviously pre-COVID, when we could still travel. We discovered while we were there, as families were talking, that you need a special key in order to use the handicap toilet in the UK. And many times the shop owner has misplaced the key, and many families don't know how they can actually get a key of their own so they have access to all the toilets in the area. And toileting is a huge issue for a significant number of those living with OCNDS. And the lack of dignity and the lack of access cause many of our families to rethink their outings. In the US, we don't have this issue. Most bathrooms are unlocked. And so we realize that accessing services, care, and treatment varies from country to country. And families are impacted differently around the world due to different customs and practices. And so we are building a resource ambassador program to help our families in every region navigate their diagnosis. In addition, we are building more diverse boards and funding research and researchers that do not preserve historical inequities. In addition, we're working on projects that empower and educate and bolster our patient voice. We're doing this by completing more patient and parent surveys, building a library of visual support, creating videos and brief explanations in plain terms about our syndrome. And we're continuing to build our database of OCNDS champions that include doctors and geneticists and specialists. There are various ways you can make an impact today. The top 3 are: sign your loved one up with our contact registry. 2, register for Simon's Searchlight. And if you have registered, complete your medical history phone interview. And 3, share our content across social media. Thank you for participating in any way you can. As I mentioned before, every OCNDS family, is the driving force behind OCNDS research and progress, and we can only do this together. We look forward to being in person again next year in Baltimore, Maryland, August 5th through the 7th, 2022. So save the date, and we look forward to seeing you all in person then. Thank you so much again, Simon Searchlight, for this incredible opportunity. Thank you.